Whoa! Hey! How's it going? It's your boy, Jimmy Skull 68. We're back with another video as the Vikings take on the 49ers in Minnesota. The first home game of the year in US Bank Stadium. I'm very excited for this one. This is one of the Vikings' true tests to see if we are a playoff team or if we are not. This will show us if that Giants game was just a fluke. Obviously, the Giants suck, and the 49ers are insane. So we'll just have to see how the boys show up. I'm very, very excited for this game. The Vikings open up as 5.5-point underdogs. The Vikings' money line is sitting right around plus 200. I'm going to probably sprinkle about $20, which means if I put $20, if the bet hits, Vikings win, I profit $40. So, pretty good juice on that one. So, but I will say this game is not, I'm not going to get my hopes up too high. As long as the Vikings can stay and compete, maybe cover the spread, that shows we can compete with anybody. If we can compete with the Niners, we can compete with anybody. And let's not forget, the Vikings played the Niners last year in Minnesota as well, and we whooped their ass. I mean, I wouldn't say whooped their ass, but we were the better team. That was Kirk Cousins' last game in Minnesota. The game prior to him tearing his Achilles straight off the bone. His second to last game in purple. So, game was kind of sad looking back on it, but we're on to greater things here in Minnesota football land. A few good storylines for this game. You know, the major one is Christian McCaffrey is out yet again. Jordan Mason will be filling in for the Niners at running back, the undrafted free agent from Georgia Tech University, which is a pretty cool story. If you aren't paying attention, the Jets played the Niners on Monday Night Football. Christian McCaffrey was out, and Mason stepped in as the starting running back and just went off. Absolutely went off out of nowhere. Which is a testament, I think, to Mason. He's a great player, you can tell. But it's also just the Shanahan scheme. It's just the Niners' way. Their O-line, just the whole... I mean, I watched the entire game, and those holes just are gaping.
Pause.
Oh, my goodness. The O-line creates so much space. Anybody could run through that. I would be 100 yards a game rusher in that offense. Maybe. But yes, Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the 49ers, just an insane head coach, has gotten the Niners to the Super Bowl multiple times in the last couple years. If they're not in the Super Bowl, they're in the NFC Championship or close to that. So this Niners team is just, they haven't won a Super Bowl, but they are knocking on the door. This could be their year. They have relatively the same team as last year. Obviously, every year the NFL teams will change. But this Niners team, they've kept their cornerstones, re-signing Ayuk, who was kind of a dud on Monday night. But Debo's just doing Debo things. Debo actually looked really good in my opinion. And then obviously Mason filling in. And then you have Kittle. You even have Juszczyk, whatever his name is. Juszczyk was catching 40-yard bombs against the Jets. And I will say, I think the Jets are a much worse team than the Vikings. I think the Vikings are way more well-rounded than the Jets. I think this is going to be more of a test. The Niners also coming off the short week. A lot of things are pointing trap game in the Vikings' direction. Vegas doesn't like us. So, 5.5 at home is a massive spread. Massive. That is a lot of points to be in at home. If this game was in San Fran, it might be an 8.5 spread, which is crazy. I don't think the Vikings are 8.5 bad, but we will see. More on the storylines. Sam Darnold was on the 49ers last year. He was the backup quarterback to Brock Purdy in their Super Bowl run. Just coming up short, I will add, in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. That was a tough game. Niners arguably should have won, but it is what it is. But Sam Darnold playing against his former team, apparently when he left the Niners this offseason to come to the Vikings, a lot of people in San Fran were very upset. because he was a very well-liked, great guy to have as a backup, but he obviously is starting potential. Unless this Giants game is a fluke, which we do not know yet. We will see on Sunday when the Vikings square off. But, I mean, just looking at this Niners offense, it's insane. I mean, I covered their skill position guys. I didn't really talk about Brock Purdy that much, but Brock Purdy I think is an outstanding quarterback. He gets a lot of hate. I wouldn't even say hate, but he doesn't get the respect he deserves just because of his play style and the way he looks and the way he acts. He's not an outgoing guy, not outgoing in a good way. But he just runs the offense great, and he follows the Shanahan plan, and that's all you really have to do. But great player. We got our work cut out for us. And then you go to their O-line, and their O-line, really good. And Trent freaking Williams. I don't even need to talk about him, but if you don't know who he is, Google a picture of that guy. That guy's a stud. While I'm thinking about it now, I forgot I'm going to get my beer. Drinking Miller Lights. And I found this really cool glass. I don't even know where I got it, but I had it. So, first beer of the day, Friday, baby. I hope everybody has some fun weekend plans. Taking it easy. Put work to the back of your brain for a little bit and just chillax, have some beer, and watch some football. I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing. But moving on to the Niners defense. I'm going to go quick because I don't really know a bunch of the guys on their defense, but I do know the big names. I mean, Nick Bosa, stud. I don't need to talk on him. One of the best defensive ends, edge rushers, whatever you want to call it, in the NFL. He's going to be... But I will say the Vikings tackles did an outstanding job against Brian Burns and Thibodeau on the Giants, who are a very good duo of their own. But Nick Bosa is going to be another animal. Hargrave in the middle. He's no Dexter Lawrence, but he can still mess some things up when he wants to. I mean, and then Fred Warner, Devondre Campbell, they have bodies there. Charvarius Ward, he's always flying around. I mean, this team is just so well balanced and so well coached. It's never going to be a gimme. They just have a lot of dogs that fly around and make plays. They're fast. So we have our work cut out for us, as I've said. But if we can get if we can get Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler going early, I'm telling you, if we start out on our first drive, I can see it now. We get the ball first and 10, Sam Darnold. False start, 1st and 15. Okay, run the ball up the middle. Okay, now we get 2 yards. Okay, 2nd and 13. All right, we're going to throw the ball. A little check down. It was incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 13. Let's call a screen pass and punt the ball. I can see that now. We need to be aggressive on the first drive. It's all about getting out of the gates early. That's what we did last year against the Niners, and that's how we won. We also scored before halftime every time, and we didn't give up points in the last 2 minutes of halves, which has been a Vikings issue for as long as I can remember. But it's a true test. It's a true test of our offense, and I think it's good to get it out early because when we can make adjustments early in the season. If we play the Niners in week 17, 16, 15, it might be too late by then to do anything. And so I'm glad we're playing them early. I'm glad we play them before the division games. And I'm really damn glad it's at home. It'll be nice to see the purple in the stadium again. I'm very excited to see US being filled. I'm excited that Aaron Jones gets to see a real NFC North fan base at home, which will be nice. Fuck the Packers. We need Justin Jefferson to get going, though. He did good last year, 5 catches for 60 yards, or last week, 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. But we're going to need more than that from him, especially against the Niners. I will say in his defense against the Giants, the Vikings literally just, we were beating their ass so hard. We just were running the ball up the middle, which is fine. So we didn't really need Jefferson as much. But I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be relatively high scoring. We got to win the turnover battle, though. We got to win the turnover battle. Shoot. Last week against the Giants, fuck, we were the football gods were really trying to get us to lose that one at the beginning with the C.J. Ham 3rd and 15 fumble check down. Just ridiculous play call. It's not ridiculous play call. It's easy to say now in hindsight, but yeah, I don't know. I'm done talking about that. But we got to get the run game early. Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler need to show up. If we can get their D-line and Nick Bosa worrying about the run, it'll set up Sam Darnold, play action, everything good. That's where Sam Darnold thrives. Keep the pocket clean for him. Need Darrisaw to come out. Need Brian O'Neill to come out, and they will, which is good. I'm glad that they'll be on Bosa. I want Bosa more on Darrisaw. Darrisaw is him. Darrisaw will get the job done. Brian O'Neill, still great, just still an athletic specimen, but he's kind of hit his ceiling, I want to say, which is a great ceiling. Most players would kill for that, but I'd rather Darrisaw be on him, but we can't change that. I need Ed Ingram to get his shit together too, because Hargrave's going to eat his lunch just like Dexter Lawrence did, but not nearly as much. Dexter Lawrence is just a specimen. The Giants are lucky to have him, but they're probably going to screw that up somehow. Hey, come on down to Minnesota. We could use it. We'll give them we'll give the Giants a 4th round pick for Dexter Lawrence. That would be funny. Another key to victory for the Vikings. We need to stop their running attack. We cannot let Mason run all over us like he ran on the Jets, and I don't think he will. Here's why. I think the Vikings have an extremely underrated defensive line and linebacker room. And we also have the best defensive coordinator in the NFL, the best schemes. If those first down plays, if we can hold it, instead of getting 6 yards or 4 yards on a first down, hold them to getting 2 or 1, that's good. Get it to 2nd and 9. Make Brock Purdy beat us with his arm. Let's not get beat on the ground. If we get beat because this Mason kid has another 100-yard game, 2 touchdown, whatever he gets, that would suck. That's not going to be a very fun game to watch. Let's make Brock beat us. Big cock Brock. Let's make him win with his arm. And anything's possible, really. It's going to be... my prediction for the game, I think the Niners are going to go up early, maybe 10-0. And I think the Vikings claw back slowly. And I think the Vikings win 27-24. Niners miss a field goal as time expires to tie the game to go to overtime. Vikings win 27-24. Sam Darnold, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air. Aaron Jones catches one of them and has 98 on the ground. We'll have to see. It's my prediction. Maybe it's a pretty crappy prediction, but whatever. But we gotta get Jefferson going. Hopefully Jordan Addison plays. We need Jordan Addison. We need the defense to keep locking up. Van Ginkel doing Van Ginkel things. He's been a pleasure to watch. Need Cashman to get involved. Need Dallas Turner to get dirty with it. P. Jones the second. Brother, if you can keep getting sacks like that, my God, you're playing yourself into a contract. And, man, I hope the Vikings can keep you. But, this is a true test, this game. Lots of things to be excited about, but also I'm a little skeptical in some aspects. And it's really going to just... This game might determine our season. I know it's early, but I think we got to go out there and ball out. We're not going to beat the Niners if we don't. But Skol Vikes. Thank you guys for joining me on this Friday. I hope everybody has a nice, safe weekend and you're with your friends and your family. with that being said, this is Jimmy Skull 68 signing off. I'll see you guys after the game on Sunday. Skull.